Welcome back, guys. This is Inside FPL on the locker room vibes. So, game week 18 is done, has been wrapped up. We are heading into game week 19. As FPL managers, I know we are all setting up our teams, and you should take notes. Game week 19 is coming very fast. That is going to be on Tuesday, 30th December, 1800 hours GMT. So you should get your teams done before that deadline. In this video, I'm going to give you some tips you should look out heading into game week 19. And most importantly, the team reveal. We'll give you the team reveal as well. There will be some few captaincy choice as well. So you just stay with us. Subscribe, like, share this video, comment, and let's grow this channel together. So let's get into it. So as I said, game week 19 is almost upon us, and you'd want to get your team set up. Game week 18 was exciting in some way, in other ways too it didn't really pay off for some managers. But let's see what game week 19 could provide. So let's start by looking at the fixtures, which begins on Tuesday, as I said. So Burnley, they take on Newcastle, Chelsea take on Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest take on Everton, West Ham take on Brighton, Arsenal take on Aston Villa, then Manchester United wrap their round by taking on Wolves. They play the same time with Arsenal, so that's that. Then we move to 1st January, that is Thursday. So Wednesday is going to be blank. So 1st January, the new year, we have Crystal Palace, they take on Fulham, Liverpool take on Leeds United, then Brentford, they take on Spurs, then Sunderland, they take on City. So that's how it's looking for game week 19. It's just going to be 2 days, that's a Tuesday and Thursday. And we have some good fixtures in there. You could easily look at the Manchester United Wolves match, where Manchester United are playing at home against a Wolves team that are struggling, so that could be a plus as well. Liverpool are in good form, they take on Leeds United. That could also be an exciting match as well. So you want to look at that. So let's see how the player stats are looking. So player stats, you have players in form. You have the likes of Foden, Calvert-Lewin, Wilson, Haaland. All these players are in good form, but you also want to consider the kind of teams they are taking on. So Calvert-Lewin is taking on a Liverpool side that are beginning to find themselves. So question is, would he really be able to come out and provide the returns? Foden are taking Liverpool and City. Are taking on a somewhat very stubborn Sunderland side. So let's see how that too goes. So would you want to really keep your trust in Haaland, in Foden, or in Zeki? So that's also a good decision to make. You also want to look at Aston Villa, they take on a very solid Arsenal side, and Aston Villa as well are in very good form, winning I think their last 10 or 11 games. So they've been in very good form. So you want to look at all of this, consider all these factors heading into the game week, and see how things are looking. So the most transferred in, you have Zeki leading the charts, followed by Cunha. As I said, Manchester United are taking on a very weak Wolves team, and you have some star players like Bruno out, you have Mbeumo away. So you'd want to keep your eyes on Cunha, who could easily get you your points. Rogers, he's taking on a very solid Arsenal team, so I wouldn't really want to focus on him because it could go either way. So I wouldn't really focus on him. You have Dogu. That's Manchester against Wolves. Higo, they take on Leeds United, so that could be a good option. Dalot, very good option. King, they take on Nottingham Forest. Gabriel, who is back, they take on Aston Villa. So you could go for him, as he could easily deliver the returns once it comes to set pieces, because you know that is his trademark. Wirtz, who scored his first Liverpool goal in the EPL. So you'd want to hope that he continues with the good form. James, who seems to be in some good form, delivering assists and others here and there. So the returns. Semenyo too in good form, scoring in I think his last two games. So you'd also want to most managers are looking, so that's how I was looking for the most transferred in. Most transferred out: Timber, Bruno, Cash, Eze, Foden, Thiago, Semenyo. So even though Semenyo is still ranked somewhere in there in the most transferred in, most managers are still taking him out or transferring him out, and you should note that he's one of the most owned players, so you could easily find him almost everywhere. That's one of the factors that's leading to that. So the most selected players, as I said, you have Haaland, Semenyo at 46.9. Haaland leading the charts, and I've not had Haaland for the first half of the season. So for the first 19 game weeks, I never used Haaland, not even once. And that's how it's been for me. So entering into game week 20, I would introduce Haaland into my team, if not in 20, but gradually into my team, and we'll see how that goes as well. So these are the most selected players. You could look at them with the form, with the price, and see who you would want to get into your team to help you heading into game week 19. So these are just some stats for you to go through, some players to look out for. So some players to look out for, as I've mentioned earlier on, you could have Cunha. You could also be looking at the likes of Jerky, and you could also easily go for a Reece James, who would also be a good option there. So these three players I feel you should really look at. So for my team review, there's my team. I'm using my free hits as I mentioned in my previous video. So I have an almost entirely new squad. So I'm going with Keane, Van der Ven, James, Magay, I have Minte, I have Gibbs White, Cunha, Jerky, I have Higo, I have Volt Ahmed. So there's my starting 11 for the game week. I have Petrovic, Rogers, Cash, Thiago on the bench. So that's how I was looking at. I'm going with Mentel for my captain. So as I've said, for the first half of the season, I want to focus on differentials, players that most managers are not looking at. Sorry, that's why I'm going with Mentel for my captain. I am looking at someone completely different, but you could go for a Haaland, even though they are facing this kind of structured Sunderland team. You would want Haaland to always come out on top, because he's that kind of player who would want to prove himself against this kind of stubborn teams. He wouldn't want to be lacking behind after some droughts. So Haaland would be a good option to look at. You could also look at Cunha, who could be a good captaincy option or a differential captaincy option. You could look at Jerky as a good captaincy option. So these three players would do you so much good than harm. And you could look at, so for your top captains, you could look at Higo or Haaland. Then differentials, you look at Cunha and Jerky. So those are my options for captaincy. That is main captaincy and differentials. I'm going with Minter for differentials, for my differentials. So I'm going entirely different to see how it goes, whether it pays off or not. We hope for the best heading to game week 19. Kindly subscribe, share this video with a colleague, with another FPL enthusiast, with another FPL manager. Let's grow the channel together. Thank you.